This is Chaos with Chaos Esports Productions, bringing you the semifinals of this Eternal Dreamers in-house tournament. This is game number 2 after a very convincing victory from our Protoss player. Let's go ahead and introduce our players here on Whirlwind Ladder Edition. Spawning in the upper right-hand corner of Whirlwind, it is going to be in the blue trunks, Demonizer. And spawning in the lower left-hand corner with a very decisive victory in the first game, it is going to be Eternal Dreamers Whiteout. So, while we are speaking profanities about the English language and how it is that awful, let's go ahead and talk about Whirlwind a little bit. Now, Whirlwind is a very wide, very open map. You know, basically you've got your main base that leads into a very secure natural with, I would say, a fairly small ramp. In general, it's very easy to take your natural. And obviously, with it being such a big map, a lot of people tend to play more of a macro style game on this. So, we probably will be seeing something very similar as far as opening coming from our Protoss player. Shouldn't see too much difference, except for he probably won't go for an all-in, just because it is such a big map. Now we are seeing Command Center on the high ground, which is actually kind of curious, because I would have thought that that the low ground would have been safe to do. There's really not much that his opponent can do to deny it to any degree besides the random probe harass, and in general the probe would take a significantly longer amount of time to get there to harass. So yes, indeed, that is the weirdest wall ever. And I think he's actually going to let the probe just waltz right in. Yep. Oh, just very clutch. Very clutch. So, CC and 2 racks. Interesting. So, we aren't seeing any gas come out of our Terran player, so obviously we're not going to be seeing a too terribly early... another Twilight Council play. Very fascinating. Could we see DTs? That is a very good question. Now, I would say that in general, that going for DTs on this, actually, I don't think would be too terribly bad. I think, yeah, I think it might be interesting to see how that plays out. Obviously, with a full wall off, there's not really much that Whiteout's going to be able to do unless he can like sneak in there without him putting up the map. But other than that, nope, we are seeing a blink play once again, so definitely going to be something very simple. Yeah, something very simple. No, we're going something very similar to the last game. So now the only downside to this map is obviously you can blink across this this little chasm here. But as far as getting out, is a little bit more on the difficult side. So I'll be interested to see if we see kind of the similar proxy robo type build come out of our Protoss player. So this is actually a build that I really haven't seen, or you know, really just haven't seen. So looks like Whiteout's a little bit bummed that he missed the SCV, which, you know. Ooh, maybe. He's like, oh, I'm gonna get you. One more poke, 15 health, so it takes a couple more shots for that. Mothership Core is rolling across the field now. Unfortunately, he barely missed seeing that SCV, and there we go. The SCV got taken out there at the bottom, and with the SCV down here, has he not scouted yet? Oh, yeah, I guess he hasn't scouted, so he is definitely in a position where he thinks he knows that his opponent is in the lower left hand, but he doesn't know that quite for sure yet. And with Blink now done, I would think that he is getting ready to... 1, 2, 3... Okay, so he's going to just only send 3 in. Obviously, they're going to get out of there relatively quickly, considering all these Marauders and Marines. There's really not much hope for saving those guys. Okay. And they... actually, he got out of there fairly unscathed. Traded a handful of SCVs for just that one Stalker. So, and actually, now he's going to be able to come in and take out this bunker very handily. Now the natural's compromised, so he's definitely put himself into a very good position. Taking out some of these SCVs, and he's actually in a very similar situation to game number 1. Behind us, we just have a single pylon going down. Don't have any proxy robo going on. Definitely sitting down here at the natural and just playing the game that says I'm going to contain. So a whole bunch of these things getting taken off. Very good blink micro from Whiteout here. So it's definitely killed his own bunker. Lots of loot back. Trading very well. Still only that one Stalker being lost at this point. So things are definitely looking very nice for Whiteout. He's actually going to back out because he's going to overextend too terribly much. But yeah, now that some of these shields are regenerating on some of these Stalkers, it's going to be very difficult for Demonizer to actually come back from this. And a lot of these SCVs are getting taken out very nicely. Still only 2 Stalkers having been lost at this point. Whiteout's definitely very efficient. There, his third, fourth. Yeah, I don't think there's really that much that Demonizer can do. I mean, obviously he's got Marauders coming out, so he's going to trying to get himself into a position to do enough damage, and it looks like he isn't going to be able to too much longer. A good blink out now. Mothership Core isn't able to get taken out just quite yet. So yeah, now with only 2 barracks, there's really not much Demonizer can do, and actually he's going to go ahead, Whiteout's going to work forward, and that should be the end of game number 2. Whiteout taking a very decisive game here in the Eternal Dreamers in-house tournament. So I hope you guys have been